That heifer right there just don't even care.
Save yourself now.
Hey, everybody.
Action. What do you say, folks? Hope y'all having a fine Sunday evening.
Yeah.
We finally back, and this is the real deal,
The
Miss
real
Deb.
deal.
Yes, ma'am. The real deal.
Yeah. We figured y'all miss Jasper more than us.
Yep.
He has been ready and waiting.
Well, his little single party from when we done the live a while back.
Yeah. Was that the last live we did?
It was, I think so. Yeah.
It feels like it's been forever.
3 weeks, something like that. We did our last live. But yeah, during all that, come home, a bunch of puppies, got them gone to a good home.
I don't know whether to cry or be happy.
They're happy. There's some happy little dogs. They went to a good family. Thank you. But anyway, other than that, yeah, we appreciate everybody bearing with us as we been walking through a season in life. Most everybody knows where we've been, what's been going on, and all that. We're not going to drag the show out with all that, but we do want to say thank you to a bunch of people real quick, or as many as we can. And please forgive us if we don't mention you, anything like that. It's just we've been trying to jot down here and there who's this and that. But
and so many of y'all reached out to us.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to type.
Yep.
Y'all know I can't type and think at the same time.
But yeah, we got several thank yous we want to kick it off with. But let me got my notes together this evening, trying to get into order on things, which probably won't last very long. We're gonna derail somewhere along the program.
Always.
But the last couple of weeks we wasn't able to go live and all that. And there were some of you we reached out to with a helping hand. Y'all jumped right on in and made sure that Sunday fellowship was able to continue with one another on the blessings of fellowship and our brothers and sisters in Christ and that everything that goes along with it. But
we want to say everybody that filled in for us did a fine job.
Yes, sir.
Todd, if you bring up Walmart this early in the conversation,
I got one for you, and she wasn't happy neither, Captain. She was fired up about it. But Joey, Mr. Joseph Rawls, we called him up.
He did the first one.
Yep, first Sunday week ago, depending on when you're watching this. But he made sure the prayer list was mentioned, and Hannah said, Joey went back and time stamped whenever we did
when we read the prayer list before. I thought that was really, really awesome of you, Joey.
Yes, sir. Thank you much on that. Then we didn't want to burn Joey out, so we reached out to Ricky this past Sunday, and he said, "Let me check with my bunch, and I'll get back with you." And it wasn't just a few minutes later. He said, "Yeah, man, we can work something out." And thank goodness they kept things rocking and rolling.
I was so glad to see Miss Ruth come on with him too.
That was pretty funny. We went back and watched that.
Yeah, we did.
And that was pretty funny, Miss Ruth carrying on with him.
Yeah.
But JW and Tom and Melissa too, we appreciate y'all. Spanky, all on that end. But
I hadn't seen any of them in here except Joey.
But thank you. We appreciate everything, everybody. But on my list I got here, many of you on the Book of Faces reached out to us, and we appreciate y'all on that. And there's about 40 of y'all, so I just kind of combined y'all from the Book of Faces.
Yeah.
But thank y'all very much, ones that reached out on that. Text messages and emails. Mr. Mike Conley, we appreciate you.
I
Carl.
haven't seen him yet.
He ain't in here.
No.
He's the first one fussing, talking about, oh, you ain't on time.
And we went early just for him.
Yep. We'll
He'll
get it.
catch it on the replay.
Yep. He's stuck on Creek Bank catching JW's crappie down there in Lake Gunnersville.
Probably so.
You two need to get together and go fishing. Because I'm telling you, JW, you and Mike Conley would be something to be had. I guess that's the best way to put it. Y'all get along good. Carl and his two big brats, appreciate you reaching out to us. Philip RTX has reached out to us a couple times, but this morning, if y'all seen our what do you call it, the thumbnail for tonight's fellowship, that come from Philip. He took a picture of it at his
mama's.
Yeah, at his mama's place, and he said, "Man, just kind of thinking about y'all. Want to let you know we praying and everything." And it was kind of funny he sent that picture because while we were sitting at Hannah's grandma's, that's what we was watching up there, them old camellias.
Hers was blooming too.
Buddy, you talk about everything from honeybee to yellow jacket, guinea wasp, red wasp, different little solitaire pollinators. Buddy, this one camellia, they were just all over it for a couple days. But tell you, appreciate you on that, Philip. Greg Burns, he reached out to us in a message and said he would keep the family or keep us in prayer. But yet the man
he
sent a prayer
to us.
I was like, man, appreciate that. Honestly, do appreciate all the prayers, but not often. I guess people, even I'm guilty of this, but not immediately right then. Say text or something back to you. Well, Mr. Donnie, everybody knows Mr. Donnie, the diabetic that we have for the unofficial official honey tasting. Y'all remember him?
Yeah.
Let me sit back and I'll show y'all this. You want to show you a little deal on our graphic plant?
Oh. Lee, is that you? Like, are you bouncing back and forth, confusing me with the Southern Louisiana family?
It's got to be.
I thought that was somebody else.
Yep. But Mr. Donnie sent some kind of flower. What do you call this thing?
Bromeliad?
Yeah.
Or bromelain? I don't know how to say it.
Anyway.
But that little honeybee ornament in the middle of the flower. I don't know if y'all can see that.
Maybe too glassy.
Yeah, it's a little glass bee.
I guess
she's cute.
Christmas ornament, something other, I reckon. Whatever you. There you go. Hang that puppy up. Spanky, he sent us a
Christmas card full of pepper seeds.
Sure did. Spanky put everything in there from y'all have Thanksgiving, good season to here's your pepper seeds. So
it was an awesome card.
Yes, sir. He lined it all out in one sitting there. But we appreciate you, Spanky.
Wait, my penguin. I thought he said, I'm Southern Louisiana. I should put my glasses on. He said, hi, Southern Louisiana. Sorry.
Miss Sarah's Happy Hives. Danae.
Miss Sarah, Danae, and Miss Jan, and Miss Leona. Hey, Haley. Ooh, stick around, girl. We're going to showcase you tonight.
Yes, ma'am. But, this was real special.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know if y'all may not be able to read it or whatever with the video, but
it's a lantern.
Yeah.
That Miss Jan and Miss Leona sent.
I said, Grandma, you left me beautiful memories. Your love is still my guide, and though I cannot see you, you're always at my side. But
so Miss Jan and Miss Leona, I got to talk to Miss Jan earlier But Miss Leona, I did want to tell you thank you so much. Like I greatly appreciate that.
Yep.
Even though it took me like 3 days to quit crying after I read it.
Very
But
kind
it's
gesture.
awesome. It is.
Thank you much. And to everybody. We appreciate you.
Everybody.
But now moving on. We'll try to get on some happy notes.
Mm-hmm.
Had some good visit with kinfolk while everything going on around here. We talked about rat killing and not meaning to unalive said rat. Then the cousin got to telling a story about he had found a baby squirrel at work. He does landscaping work and got this baby squirrel and brought it home. And you just have to know my cousin-in-law, if you will. He's just a real laid back kind of dude. He don't get real excited. And long story short on that, they was doing something on the back porch and they had to fool that squirrel, feed it or something. And buddy, that little old squirrel chomped down on his finger. And he said, I was trying to keep it calm. And you should have it's better with him telling the story because it's just laid back. But he's trying to tell the kids real calmly to get inside. He said, but my emotions on the inside, I was screaming because the squirrel was chomping down on my finger and I didn't want to lash out in front of my kids. And he said, I finally got them inside. He said, when I shut that door, I slung that thing across the yard. He said, then the little joker jumped up and looked at me like he was going to come after me. So I run back inside, hollering at the squirrel, don't bite me again. Don't bite me again.
He's chasing me like a menace.
It's
a baby.
Yeah. It was a good laugh.
It was.
And while everybody was down, whenever I come back to the house one of these days, let these heathen dogs out for a little bit. I was like, you know what? We got breakfast and everything going on up there. All the kin folks down here. So, well, he got the way he was telling it, yes, sir. It was.
I wish we had that part on video.
Yeah, he really. I wish I could say more about how his personality is, but he's just a real laid back guy. And him telling that, talk about my finger. Yeah. There goes old squirrel across the yard. They comes charging back at him.
Charging. Okay. Okay. All right. Haley said it's a school night. She's only here till 9, and I think that's 8 our time. So I told her we'd get her on next.
Okay. Well,
because somebody has been brushing up on his technology skills and learning how to push buttons correctly while I've been out of the picture for a minute. So we'll see if it comes together.
Well, we'll just run on that right now.
But we saw these on the Book of Faces, and I thought it was just completely awesome. And Carl told us we could share them with y'all. So
let me see if I can get us out of here.
still with y'all. Maybe.
Uh,
He said they gone.
did it really?
Oh no. I don't know. I think you hit the wrong button.
No, it shouldn't have done all that.
Hide the pictures. It's not bringing us back.
Bam.
Joey said
Look.
Hannah bragged on him too. Okay. Now
Are
they
we
can
back?
hear us. I don't know what you did.
So you couldn't hear us before?
I don't know if they're messing with us because they're still saying we're lost.
No, we're back.
Just because we're trying
gotta
to
do
find
this.
our way doesn't mean we're completely lost. Yeah, I guess I did brag on him too soon, Joey.
Look.
But are we back?
I guess.
Somebody please tell me we're back. Okay, Rodney said that was close.
Okay, couldn't hear you, but you can now.
Okay,
Right.
so you can't take us off the thing. You can just leave us in the background.
Oh, so I just had y'all staring at some pictures going, what in the world?
What are y'all talking
Yeah,
about?
whose kids are these?
Yeah.
All right, look, we go back. That little Haley,
Mm-hmm.
and they're putting their honey in the bourbon barrel.
I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's bourbon barrel.
All right, getting all that ready. And you got little Caleb here knocking the lid on there with a hammer. Then it's time to put her up for what, 3 months, I think they said?
Yeah, because Caleb said that's entirely too long.
That's right. Yep. So, got a kick out of seeing them youngins out there.
Yeah, we did. Look like y'all done a fine job, Haley.
Mm-hmm. Now, be counting them days down, mark them on your calendar.
Mm-hmm.
But shoot, 3 months, it'll be here before you know it.
Lisa Buttons is at it again. Tom and Melissa said, wait, Buttons knows how to push buttons?
I'm learning, but
He knows how to push them. He just doesn't know which one to push.
And when to push them at the right time.
Oh, Carl said they had a ball. That's awesome.
Good deal.
It's always good to see the kids involved.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now you can move on with the rest of your notes.
Where was I at?
You will come say
kinfolk and cream honey.
Y'all, it disappeared.
It did. Like, once they tasted it, it was just like, it went down to the next one, was like, oh, this is really good.
You ready?
And just, and I was like, well, hey, y'all dig in and enjoy whatever y'all want to out of it. Ain't no problem. And the next.
After what you and Jamie went to buy some biscuits, would y'all order like 20 biscuits or something?
Well, look.
And the woman looking at you like you're insane.
Now, me and the cousin-in-law, all right, we went to the local Hardee's. Yeah, different cousin-in-law. Well, all right, we went to go get some biscuits. Went to the Hardee's. Pulled up drive-through, told the woman, said, look, 12 plain biscuits. Pretty simple order, one would think, you know. Then one steak biscuit. That's all. So it's a total of 13 biscuits, one of them being a steak.
You should have told her a baker's dozen. That would have really thrown her off.
I didn't even think about that. But the girl actually hesitated on the microphone and goes, 12 biscuits? I was like, yeah, 12 biscuits is what we need. Anyway, we got through that. And whenever we got back, that's whenever we popped the lids on those cream honey. We had Ed's, we had some that we had a little bit from, Carl and them, Brian and Jen, what little bit we had there from them. Who was there? Was somebody else.
Did we take Russ? No, Ollie took it.
No, the preacher.
No,
Miss
yeah,
Jolene
they
got
took Miss Jolene took it home.
But I don't know. We had
There was another. Maybe it was 2 Eds.
Maybe. But anyway, like I say, once they tried that cream honey, buddy, it just went on down the line, and everybody started tearing into that mess. And it was just like a new discovery. And one of them lives down I guess you could say, a wealthy part of Florida because the type of work that they do, him and his wife. And he was like, "Man, you could make a killing at one of those markets down there with that stuff." I was thinking, well, the way everybody talks on the YouTube, they do very, very well selling the cream honeys. So if you're down in South Florida anywhere, Tampa area and all that, apparently them markets is in a need of cream honey, and that'd probably be a good market for you to jump into down that way. Because I ain't never heard of it, tried it, anything like that. But I just thought to myself, why they got to be 13 hours away?
Ronnie says sounds like a road trip.
Ooh, a long one. Like I said, it took him, 12 hours to get here?
I think Brandy said 11 and a half.
Yeah. Took him a while to
But they
get up
have
here.
2 little kids too. So that means more stops.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they absolutely, everybody that tried it, and it was a first time for all of them, really.
But then we forgot it. We didn't take the rest of it home with us.
Yes.
And we went back yesterday to do some stuff. And we're like, oh, well, we'll grab what's left of it. There wasn't a jar.
No.
It all disappeared.
It's gone between Louisiana.
Well, that should be a compliment to all you creamed honey makers.
Yep. Yeah, that stuff spread out to
Everywhere.
Louisiana, North Georgia now. They moved out of Tennessee. Then South Florida down there. I don't know if anybody made it up to the North Country with some, but anyway, they enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And it made for good conversation. Because well, one of them, he said his in-law, Jamie, and his cousin, when I was talking to, he said his in-laws somewhere, an uncle or something, they have bees down there. And since they have moved closer, they kind of thought about getting the bees, but never, I guess, made that step.
Mm-hmm.
But talk highly of their. I think you said they had about 50 or so hives down there on that neck of the woods. But beekeeping made for a lot of good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
While we was up there.
Jamie told me whatever night you and him was talking about it so much. He told me the next morning we was sitting out on the porch for a minute, and he was like, "Hannah, Tim was going so fast, like I was just texting and tweeting stuff to Brandy, taking notes as he was talking." He was like, "I just couldn't get enough of it." I was like, "Man, y'all got to get a beehive."
His wife is a physician,
Mm-hmm.
and she's kind of gotten out of the hospital part and wanted to get into like more healthier means of medicine, but yet keep her
about, like, kind of dipping their toe a little bit on the homesteading, like trying to grow more of their own food and use natural herbs and stuff to make medicines instead of buying medicines and that kind of thing. I was like, man, y'all need bees. Y'all need honeybees.
We went all the way through looking up stuff on the properties of just honey alone to propolis and bee stings. And that's what she was talking about. He was sending different stuff back and forth to her. But yes, made for great conversation. You want to do the prayer list?
Mm-hmm.
We'll go through it. I'll push up a minute because I've been gapping for
Jasper heard Danae come in.
She in here?
He's going to get back up and cut his butt in the camera. There you go.
But yeah, she gets done with this prayer list. I actually have something I think we can discuss, and it's not feeding pest. I do have a Walmart for you, Todd.
I don't remember why I was.
It was just the next day after everything going on.
Okay. Mr. Mark Miller. And he put in the chat earlier, but I'm going to say it again because it made us so happy to hear. But he texted us earlier this week, and his wife, Crystal, that we've been praying for, was having surgery. But he said it went good. She's doing great, recovering. So we were super, super happy to hear that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Ed and his family, but especially Miss Chris and her dad. The Dirt Rooster's dad, Mr. Pat, Miss Deb, Grammy Lisa's son and 2 granddaughters, Bob and his family, especially the newest addition.
Yep, congratulations there.
Yeah.
On that end.
That was a pretty little baby. Tom's wife and his mother-in-law, Mr. Donnie, Mike Tangway and his family, and a new addition to them, his brother, Mike, please forgive me if I say this wrong, but his brother Marcel is in the hospital right now. So y'all especially pray for him. DC's parents, David Hoskins' granddaughter Emma, baby Luca, and the family that lost their little one. Deanna Wheeler and her son Reed, Rachel Wilson, her sister Amanda, and her niece Riley, Philip's mama, his friends BJ and his wife, the Jennifer Brown family, Bobby's Bees and his family, Minnesota Mike and his brother Dave, Aaron Frederick, Mr. Larry and Miss Sherry Gandy and Mr. Larry's mama, Keith Larimore, Hillbilly Earl, the Paris family, Bruce with his bees granddaughter Unsong, Steve Amos's brother and mother-in-law, Spanky, all the war victims and storm victims, Jegs Farm's wife, Sean Balterse's wife, Mr. Ron, PJ Hanley, Stafford Mike, Shabu, Ricky Rourke, and he's having surgery Tuesday on his foot. So y'all especially remember him. 29 Homestead, our family, Grammy Lisa's friend Lime, Catherine's son and his family, all of our government officials, the Tar Heel Mr. Randy, his mother-in-law, Cece's Texas Garden, Earl's mama Miss Vivian, Philip's mother-in-law's sister Miss Janae Wood, our Miss Leona, Terry Chapman and his family, Chris Wilkinson, y'all see him in here as Kenneth Wilkinson, Ephraim Kalunga and his son Vincent, Terry Bertalan, DC's friend Garrison, the Williams family, Mr. Randy, Miss Janet, Redfish's wife. She's got surgery coming up next month, he said.
I had no idea Redfish done broke a limb.
No, I didn't know you broke a leg, Redfish. So we're praying for you on here too. Let's see. Kimberly Schmidt's daughter-in-law, Amanda, and her family. And then, let's see, Mr. Mark's wife. Got her. Okay. That's the end.
I hope you didn't take that literal. Somebody said, well, go break a leg, Redfish, and that beekeeping or something.
No.
But,
Oh,
yeah.
hey, PJ.
Y'all
Hadn't seen you in a while.
keep folks in prayer.
Yeah.
Quite often we hear
He
something
said LOL.
of the good Lord. And while I'm thinking on that, Pastor Larry had a good message this morning
Mm-hmm.
on the Facebook there. And got me to thinking on several different things. Then it was talking about being thankful. And it's kind of funny, kicked it off like in the morning on different things, but yet don't be forgetful and all. But then we got to church today, and our preacher for the service was, you know, leaning toward what are we thankful for?
Well, it's his sermon that it was titled, "What was Jesus
Yeah.
thankful for?"
And there's one little piece I want to jump on that. Then Mr. Mike Berry, whenever he come on earlier, he was talking about the blessings of Thanksgiving and all that there in his chat for a few minutes. But when all that kind of combined together, I remember our preacher, he was preaching in, where we at, John 11, 41, 42. And yes, I know this is speaking of Lazarus and and him being called forth from the grave, but this one little piece of scripture, whenever Brother Sammy today was like, what do you think Christ was thankful for? And it's only spoken of, what do you say, 3 or 4 times where Christ, Father, thank you.
I think so.
Something
Where
along those lines.
He directly said the words, "Thank you."
But and once again, if you read the passage, you're going to be reading into, who is it, Mary coming to Christ, asking Christ, if you'd been here, my brother hadn't have died. But then so on, y'all know the story of Lazarus being risen. But this one little portion at the end of verse 41, it just resonated, I guess, with me. Pretty heavy. And this is Christ speaking. Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me. Then getting back to Sunday fellowship here and hearing, the good message from Mark Miller. And the Lord hears our prayers as just single individuals as well. He knew the work Christ was going to do, and he knew what was going on, but yet Christ was still, Father, thank you for listening to my prayer. And that just hit me pretty hard this morning sitting in church going, well, Lord, I appreciate you listening to our little old prayers, kind of thing. And that's something I believe that should be thanked a little bit more in my viewpoint, I reckon.
Something we take for granted.
Yeah. But the simple things of being thankful that the Lord hears our prayers and he answers them. But
no, Jim Johnson, that was going to be my very next statement because I still hadn't seen him come in. But has anybody heard from DC?
No, we was looking for him.
We were looking for him last night in Joey's live and never saw him.
So hope everything's okay with him out that way.
Yeah. Like nothing happened with his mom or stepdad.
Yes. But
I've not heard from him.
Getting into a little conversation. Had a little downtime. I got to watch an insect nature documentaries, so on and so forth. And in one of those documentaries, they mentioned honeybees and dorsal light reaction.
And it set him off.
It did. And I was thinking, well, where are we going with all this? All right, I knew it tied into the sun, and apparently that's their guide and compass and all that. But I've never really, I guess, looked in depth to it. Listened to a few YouTube videos on how who was it? What's that? Well, man, Cornell University dude out there. They did the one testing the bees on the island. And I think it was part of that was they was using that direction of the sunlight. Tom, what's his last name? Anyway, somebody tell me in here. Tom, whatever his name is, over at Cornell University. But got to looking into it, figured we'd jaw on that for a little bit to see if anybody else has kind of picked up on it, been interested in it. But it was pretty neat, especially like the difference between the worker and the drone on how you wouldn't. Tom Seeley, yep,
Redfish said.
that's him. Yes, sir. Thank you. And like one of the questions is a drone's vision better than a worker bee? I'm thinking to myself, well, I guess just it'd probably be about the same, one would think. Then got to reading into it a little bit. Like, well, okay, maybe there is a good difference in eyesight and vision, and maybe a little bit more to whatever the science and how they got down to things with honeybees in their eyes, what it is. But
you gotta remember to hit your picture buttons.
Oh yeah, I forgot I got them in there. Now I'm reading this, y'all, from Carolina Honeybees, and it says it was last updated August 13th, 2024. But honeybees' eyes give them the remarkable vision, but are also used for navigation, foraging, and communication. Unlike the eye of a human that consists of a single lens, bees' eyes are a complex combination of single eyes and compound eyes that have separate purposes. And it says in this post, we'll learn about mason structure and function of these eyes and how it helps them interpret the world. And this kind of helped on things. It says beekeepers do not have to know all in depth the biological aspects of bee life, but the more you learn about the anatomy of the honeybee, the more amazing they become. Which there's a lot of truth in that little old sentence, right? Or that kind of long sentence. That the more you dig around with these things and you get in depth with it, you're like, well, hold up. All right. Just think about, okay, wax making, wax glands. They got where 6 scale come out on the back of them, and they put these things together. Then you have another little honeybee where she comes in and she does the welding work, if you will, heats things up just nice and just right, makes a little old circle inside that cell. Boom, jump over to the next one, dude. But just using that example.
Investigators are on it.
What they do?
Joey said DC posted a video 2 days ago, but he hasn't replied to comments.
Man, ain't showed.
That is unlike DC to be out of the YouTube.
You right. Something must be.
For
I
2
hope.
days.
Lord willing, ain't nothing going on with family. I know they've been asking for prayers on
his
things
internet
too.
Went down or something.
Maybe so.
I hope nothing went bad.
But didn't they say that volcano's supposed to go out there before too long?
Why would you say something?
I'm just saying.
I don't know.
But getting on this, I guess. Keep the conversation going. So understanding the bee's eyes.
Hopefully that's it, Russell.
What we got?
Russell Amon said a couple days ago, DC said on a chat he had a new video game. Maybe he got called up.
Okay.
That would be better than something happening.
A heck of a video game for him to be missing several live chats.
I don't know. Todd said that big storm hit up in the Pacific and maybe they don't have power.
Hmm.
I heard there was some pretty strong winds up there.
Okay. Well,
Do we have his phone number? No, we just talked to him on a stream.
yeah, the only,
that
I
day.
think email is what I got.
Yeah.
I think I had to look on my phone.
We'll try to send him an email, see if we can get in touch with him.
But,
Okay,
well,
sorry.
it's all right. Lord willing, I mean, that's something simple as the
I hope
power
it's
being
the
out.
video games, not the
video
power's
game.
out.
Y'all, some of this, y'all know me. I'm going to butcher some words, but we're going to get through it. We're going to get through it. But let me get the picture up here. Give y'all some of it.
Mom, where have you been?
Yeah.
We went live early, a whole minute early, just for you.
So we'd be on time.
Here.
Or we missed you in the messages. I don't think we did. I think he's running late. That's what usually happens. Okay, let me get the picture up here. We'll get on to this a little bit.
Oh, he was cooking.
Classic. Borrowing from Todd.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, Mike. That's what Tim and I were talking yesterday. Hadn't heard from Ed either. Hadn't seen him on here. Hadn't seen him doing his lives.
No, because I was going to holler at him on doing one of the first lives, and I got thinking to myself, I was like, well, I haven't seen him for a minute doing his videos, and I know he's been dealing with some stuff, I guess, right after his daddy and everything, and trying to, I guess, get adjusted to all that. So that's why I just
Hadn't been trying to
bother him, I guess. Yeah.
Todd said keep the sound on this time buttons.
I will. I'm not going to take us out. I'm not going to take us out of the picture. But okay, we're going to talk about in here the compound eye and the simple eyes. Is what they're calling it here. But a visual. Boom.
Because he figured it out.
Look at there. All right. Let's see. Because of all the data needed to accomplish her task, bees have two different types of eyes: compound, simple eyes. Large compound eyes and a close inspection of a bee will reveal two large compound eyes found on the side of the head. These are easy to see if you can get the bee to sit still. Compound eyes, as their name implies, consist of 1,000 tiny micro eyes called
Amatidium.
Yeah, amatidium facets.
Mm-hmm.
These tiny lenses are groups of photoreceptors that interpret the world from many different angles. The number of amatidia in these compound eyes range from 5,000 to 8,000. And remember those numbers on those eyes.
It's a high button.
Okay, bam. All right, 5,000 to 8,000. If you could see through the eyes of a honeybee, the image would look much like a puzzle or mosaic with many pieces. Nerves connect the amatidium, hopefully that's supposed to be right, to the brain where the information is interpreted into an image that the bee understands. Okay. So, we ain't talked about it yet. Talked about there's a little hair on the compound eye. Maybe to get into it right here.
Mr. JW thought he was the youngest.
He is in here. The simple eyes, the ocilia.
Ocelli or Ocelli.
Yeah. It
We
depends
don't know
on
how to say these
if
words.
you're French or not, I guess.
Joey said it's like fiber optics, LOL.
Yeah.
There you go, Joey.
Yes. The two compound eyes are only part of the picture. Positioned on the top of their head in a triangular pattern are three simple eyes called the ocelli.
Sure.
what we'll call
I'm
it.
thinking Socelli if they're Italian.
Yeah, or Latin. The Latin word ocellus, little eye. You may not notice these simple structures unless you look very closely. They're triangular pattern, 2 dorsal and 1 central, and resembles 3 little dots. Each of the small eyes has 1 lens, and they look very different than the compound. Oh, I'm sorry, that work differently than the compound eyes. It says they aid in navigation, light receptors, and UV sensors. All right, let's see if it's this one. I think it's this picture. Yeah, bam. Okay.
Y'all can decide how you say that.
Yeah. But you got the 3 little eyes on top of their head there. Then the 2 big compound eyes, what we typically see every time we look at a honeybee, looking into the eyes of a honeybee, if you will. But never hardly seeing the ocelli. Is that's what I'm gonna call it, I guess. But all right.
Yeah, I call it something.
Yes. Well, this is their aid in navigation. How they're following the sun. We know pretty much. Say if you're in an open field and you got your bees in an open field, as soon as that sun goes to hitting them good, but everybody's gonna come flying out because they're getting that early hit on that sun.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, simple eyes do not form pictures in the way that we think of normal sight. They're primarily light sensors and they help the honeybee navigate using the position of the sun, even on a cloudy day. This enables the bee to easily view the horizon and horizon line as the day begins and ends. This is important for a worker bee that plans to work from daylight to dusk. Perception of daylight and dark. Foraging honeybees go into the field mostly during the daylight hours, but some bees of other species are
crepuscular.
There we go. And prefer to forage at night. I had no idea there was a bee that will forage at night.
Not honeybee. Other species.
Other species.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But some bees of other species. There's the wordage.
Mm-hmm.
That's still pretty cool. Had no idea there was a forager of any kind of bee at nighttime. I figured everybody went home and went to bed. Once that sun went down, all right,
No.
there's your clock. And it says here, for example, the bees that live in the desert may need to forage at night to avoid the heat of the day. These bees will have larger ocelli than honeybees to help them detect small variations in light, especially at dusk and dawn. But their sensitivity to UV light, one remarkable aspect of honeybees is that they can see UV light. The ocelli is very sensitive to ultraviolet light. This is invisible to humans. This sensitivity helps honeybees recognize patterns and reflections that aid in navigation. Honeybees see flowers much differently than we do, using their ocelli to see ultraviolet light. They can recognize patterns, shapes, and colors. And think of that. How about that video? Who was old David Attenborough or something? Somebody showed us the little TikTok clip of them picking up the
little buzz.
Yeah, the buzz coming off the flower.
What is it, Joey? You know
or
what
Brian.
it's called. I hadn't seen Brian, but Joey knew what it was.
Were they? The frequency was so low we can't hear it, kind of thing. But
yeah, but the bee,
flower,
if it has the nectar in it, they pick up some kind of frequency.
Yeah, it's the.
I know I've heard Joey.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like the charging of the electrons and neutrons.
Yeah.
If that flower has been pollinated, then the electrons and neutrons won't charge to emit the sound. if you will.
Something.
Something along those lines. Pretty doggone interesting. Cool. Honeybee vision. The way in which 5 eyes of a honeybee work together allows them to complete complex tasks and feats of navigation. They can also see movement in any direction due to the facets on the curved surface of the compound eyes. This helps them understand their surroundings and respond to any threats. Polarized light of honeybees enables them to see polarized light. Humans cannot detect polarized light without special filters. However, honeybees can use their compound eyes to detect polarized light even on cloudy days when no sun is present.
Don't you wish your brain could work like that?
Ain't that the truth? That'd be dangerous.
Yeah, you would.
All right, getting into this here on the drones real quick. This ain't too long, y'all. We're about to wrap this up on it. We'll open up chat. Anybody want to come in? If not, we'll derail on somewhere else.
Oh, thanks, Joey. He said, I know what you're talking about, but can't remember what it's called. It's some type of electrical charge.
There we go. Yep.
You was barking up the right tree.
Well, we'll hunt them critters together.
Mm.
All right.
He'll probably think of it in a minute.
Or when the show goes off.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Or Leo Google it.
Powerful eyes of drone bees.
Don't you have a picture for that?
I do. I'll show y'all.
Russell said electrostatic.
Sounds good to me.
I don't know.
I mean, that may be
I
what it
can't
is. It could be.
remember. It's something along them lines, though.
The powerful eyes of the drone bees, there's a noticeable difference among the eyesight of the various bees in a hive. Worker bees have about 6,900 facets or lenses in their compound eyes. This gives them the abilities they need to perform their task. Drones are the male bees of the colony. Their sole purpose, so far we know, is to mate with queens. Because they do not work, one might think their eyesight would not be as good as worker bees. This is not true. This is an exclamation point on that. It ain't true. Drones have 8,600 facets in their eyes, a measurable amount more than the workers. Why is this eyesight so important to drone honeybees? Why would you think that? Well, the drone, all he's doing is just running around, eating all the groceries and trying to find a woman. What's the point in having good eyes? You can't read it and give me an answer. That's cheating.
I can't really read it from here anyway. It's taking me a second.
No.
I really was going to say that, though. Spotting a woman.
Yep, pretty much.
Gotta have sharp eyesight for that.
Oh, you'll find her.
Mm-hmm.
So why is eyesight so important to drone bees? They need excellent sight to spot virgin queens flying in the air. Honeybee reproduction relies on males outside the hive, high in the air. These special mating spaces are called drone congregation areas. On warm afternoon, virgin queens in an area fly to these spaces, hoping to mate. Good vision aids the drones in finding the queens. And we're about to wrap it up here, but I thought this was pretty neat. Do bee eyes have hair? Is there like hair follicle on the compound eye? Or eyes? Let's see if we can see on there. Well, I'm going to pull them both up, but bam. All right.
See it better.
The picture I'm assuming it's going to be on y'all's right as well. But you can see the little eye, the hairs on the eyes there. Another amazing fact about the eyes of honeybees is the smaller hair that grows on their eyeballs. The tiny hair grows out from between the ommatidium
Mhm.
Even though there is still some mystery surrounding the purpose of this hair, it is believed to be they're there to help keep the eye lenses clean.
That just makes me want to blink worse.
Hairy eyes also helps bees. Check this out. This is awesome. If they're right on this, this is awesome. Hairy eyes also helps bees measure the wind speed and direction.
That's wild.
So they can do Kentucky windage, the whole everything with their eyes.
Yeah.
Boom.
I think that's what they call it.
Well, y'all know what I'm saying. Wrong
Wrong
button.
button.
Don't hit that one. I just about hit the wrong button for real. But I thought that was pretty awesome. Them little hair, if they can figure out, okay, it's at 3 miles an hour today from the northeast. I got a tailwind today. It said this aids them in returning to the hive, even in windy conditions that might blow a tiny bee off course. You will often see them cleaning their eyes and segment bee antenna before taking flight. This removes any pollen particles that may have stuck to their fuzzy body.
Mm-hmm.
Facts and questions. Why do honeybees have 5 eyes? The two very different eyes. The two very different types of eyes each serve unique purposes. Vision and light detection works together to enable the type of eyesight bees require.
Oh, thanks, Joey. I found the link to that video.
That video? Awesome. Yeah, y'all go check that out. That's a pretty cool
That
video.
was a really cool video.
Very interesting. If you like that just picking up on small little bits of pretty cool information on these critters. I'm not gonna read all the rest of these. Where do you find this and that?
Mm-hmm.
But all right, open up the chat. Y'all come on in. If not, there's some pretty stuff we can talk about.
You can read it. Hang on, let me see.
Oh.
You have to watch the chat. So.
Okay, let me put this in here.
Are you doing the
There you go.
or did you turn it off?
I turned the hotspot on. Should be. Okay. You'll have to pin it.
I don't know. I was trying to get that link. Okay.
Yep.
I'm trying.
Get with the program.
I'm gonna fire you.
Bingo. But I'm gonna check out a little bit more on it.
Yeah, Todd, that sounds a lot like what was in that video. Mr. Randy was saying they hate his hearing aids, and some days they'll light him up. But Todd said, my thought on the frequency sound that they can hear and we can't goes for certain cameras like a GoPro and microphones. The frequency irritates them, so they attack it.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Well, I had asked Mr. Mike Berry. This has been a while back, a few months ago, probably about 6-7 months ago, maybe. But on one of his videos, he was trying out a new GoPro camera, and that's what was happening. He's like, well, they're just tearing this camera up, boom, 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 back and forth, trying to sting it as much as they could, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But that was one of my questions to him. You reckon that camera's got some kind of something in it different? And then bees, maybe like fingernails on a chalkboard to them, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to hush it up. Yes. But, all right, where's your link at? You want to try to open it again? You got it posted. See if we can get that bad boy to go.
Maybe.
But
confirm with your notes.
Yes, I'm trying.
Make sure you covered everything.
Got everything. I think we got everything covered. We got rat unalivened, squirrel bites, Keith Spillman, you seen him?
Mm-hmm.
He in here? Keith,
He was.
if you're still here, has Ricky talked to you about that observation hive? I've been meaning to text you or call you or something on it, but then I was like, well, listen, I'll get him in the chat if he gets in here.
It's fine. I don't know why this thing went away.
Yeah, just slow.
I'll try to-
We'll check it out next spring. But there's a link for folks. Anybody want to check that out on that? But I guess while I'm waiting to see from him anything. Old Mr. Donnie come by for a visit. We'll go ahead and derail.
I'll be right back.
What you gotta get another shot of coffee for this one?
Mhm.
But oh, well there we go. I'll burn it. I'll burn this up real quick with the Walmart store. Todd says well, Todd says I'm gonna need a Walmart bedtime story soon because I'm tired. But I think it was the day after Miss Virginia's departing, and we had to go to the big city, get some things together, and this and that, some errands to run, what have you. So we ended up having to go to the Walmarts. Well, I knew she was upsetting some things and just being out on the highway, dealing with the clowns on the road. She done got fired up with all that. So we go to walks into Walmarts, and we always walking side by side. What I knew with her being aggravated and fired up already, dealing with the clowns on the highway, that if I did the me watching you watching me at Walmart, that ain't gonna make her any happier. So in my mind, I was thinking, I'll let her get ahead of me and I'll fall back a second. Then I'll get them as I go that way. Well, as soon as I step back, she's going ahead, and I've thought to myself, okay, she's out of camera sight. She won't see me. So I reached up and I pointed at the camera. I'm watching you, watching me. And no more than I done that, she says, even though you walk behind me, I can still see you doing that. And I was like, oh, yeah. So there's that one.
I got eyes in the back of my head, but
She was a little aggravated on that one, I guess, because I was trying to do a sneak attack without her knowing.
no, I was aggravated because I was not in the mood to deal with Walmart security that day.
But yeah, after that, we ain't
Can
been
I
back,
sit,
thank goodness.
mister?
Get up. Yeah.
You can climb up in a second. Are you satisfied now, Todd?
He could go to bed peacefully now. I tell you what.
I was thinking, you really think it's not obvious when you just suddenly drop 3 steps behind walking under the security cameras?
Thank you much, Randy. Y'all have a blessed Thanksgiving too, brother. Take care of yourself. But yeah, I thought I got away with that whenever I did.
It's cute now.
But we had what you got?
No, I was thinking.
For the last couple of days, we've been trying to, or this week, get back into work and all this good stuff. And we lined out some smaller jobs, and we was home a little early. And I got on the kick of watching yesterday, especially. Got on the kick of watching old Foghorn Leghorn. If I watch one episode of that Crazy Joker, I watch, I don't know, 10 or 12 of them back to back, looking at that old cartoon. Well, y'all know how it is whenever you YouTube and stuff. If you watch a nature documentary, Foghorn, Leghorn, whatever it is, if you watch several episodes, all of a sudden that just floods the feed of what you have. So it started bringing up other old shows. Well, it got on the Dukes of Hazzard. And I was like, okay, all right, I'll watch me a few old Dukes of Hazzard here. Well, I ended up getting on the Dukes of Hazards, but what was the beer joint of Boss Hog on? And it always tell people, look, if I catch it, especially like celebrities and stuff on Boss Hog, line them out. Either you do 6 months in jail or do a concert in his little beer joint. Well, there was a list of them on there, and it was all the way from Miss Loretta Lynn to Tammy Wynette to Donna Fargo.
Borsness.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Rodney.
And who else was on there? Oh, mercy. Freddie Fender. Johnny Paycheck, the Oak Ridge Boys. Man, there was a bunch of them on there. But I sat there and I watched that whole thing. And yeah, the Boar's Nest, what have you. But got into that pretty good. Then got into old Hee Haw. Watched a few episodes of Hee Haw.
He was laughing like a 4-year-old sitting over in that chair.
Wow, it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing old Roy Clark and them up there carrying on. Then the singers for the night that night, whenever it was filmed in 1982 or something, like I think it said.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, many moons, wasn't it? Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It had old John Anderson and Conway Twitty.
Don't disrespect.
I mean, they were both singing. Twitty.
Not Tweet.
Twitty. Conway Twitty. Okay. What was
it? Get it right.
Conway, Arkansas, and Tweety, Texas, or something like that. Or I got them backwards. But anyway, got on them old shows, and I just had a blast sitting here watching that. I got on Married with Children not long ago. Let's rock.
Gloom, despair, and agony on me.
Oh, yeah.
No, Mr. JW, I was glad he moved on from the Married with Children. I was like, oh my word.
Oh, Al Bundy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's rock. That man's a shoe selling individual right there.
He is.
Wasn't nobody getting over on him either. Mm-hmm. Why 4 kids? Put them in line, mister. Yes, sir.
I'd rather watch Olive Lucy or Andy Griffith.
But it's pretty good. Now, that one had I'm going somewhere with this.
What were you asking Keith earlier? I just saw him come back in the chat.
Keith's back?
Mm-hmm.
Observation Hive. Has anybody talked to you? Has Ricky talked to you about Observation Hive?
I know it was a classic, Todd, but after like 57 episodes in a row, I'm ready to listen to something else.
Oh, which one?
Married with Children was a classic.
Yeah.
But as I said, after so many episodes, even though I have my earbuds in watching my shows, I can still hear it going.
I did watch a bunch of them back to back. I just put it on one of them playlist things and let them do good.
Everybody's quoting the show now. Redfish said if it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all.
Yes, sir.
Wait for Joey to get back. I'm sure he'll have one.
And what's that? Where he tells the football story at whatever high school. Oh, Lord, I forgot the name of the high school now. But yeah.
Oh, wow.
Good funny show.
Right. He said he's got pollen coming in. The queens have started laying and making brood. Not good considering the weather we're fixing to get.
Okay.
Wow.
That's it. Okay. Yes, sir. Okay. It looks like we're gonna go into we gonna come in the spring with nothing here at the house. I went down there and checked on that swarm, and they just
They
With us,
barely there.
they ain't even there. When I walked
really?
home, or when I walked home. Whenever we got home from church, I went down there and popped the lid on them just to see what was happening. I seen a bunch of bees on the ground,
Oh,
and there was a bunch.
that's just,
I say a bunch because it done dwindled on down to, I think, 4 frames is what I broke it down to the other day when we finally got home.
You did not tell me that.
And it was just too cold for them, it looks like.
Yeah, because it got pretty doggone cold for us.
38 around here that one night. Got pretty cool.
I thought it got a little lower.
It may have. That was the Weather Channel's temperature for around here. But
how cold is it gonna get for y'all this weekend, Mr. Mike? Or this week? The weekend's over, I guess.
Well, I think we all kind of going to warm up for a minute down here anyway.
A day or two.
Then you folks in the North Country, I think, supposed to get hit with another cold front, and we'll get a taste of it the latter part of the week, I reckon. We just did not show enough up and down, up and down.
Dad said the high for Friday is only like 68. No, not 58 or 59. Yeah. Okay. But it's going to be chilly.
Well, I mean, everything's confused, which we see this every year, all year long down here. And I know other folks that especially lives along the coast, if you will. The plants they'll die off whenever we get a cool front come in. Then you watch them a week later, they're putting off new growth. And like right now, yes, normally we'd see the camellias blooming and, all of them starting to put off real good beginning into the fall and winter season. But the azaleas are blooming.
Oh, that's what Hope just said. We got azaleas starting to bloom in South Carolina.
Yep. So
we got 3 azaleas in like full bloom over there.
And usually the azaleas, they don't go to blooming until
spring.
Early spring. Once you go to seeing the azaleas bloom.
Summer's here.
Yeah, it's him.
Mr. Mike said they're going to be in teens to low 20s.
I don't think so.
No, they are, not us.
I mean, I'm just saying, good grief.
I don't want to talk about that yet.
No.
We got to get broke in.
On Joey's live last night, that Lambrook, Bryce, he was just casually talking about, well, it was 20 degrees, but if it gets like negative something, then
no, thank you.
That's a typical winter for them. Like,
I mean, for a lot of people that don't live in South Alabama, that is a typical winter.
I mean, I get that, but at the same time, I'm thinking, I've never lived through any of that, and I'm surely not going to do it willingly. If it's 45 degrees outside, I don't want no part of it. I'm just, I guess, spoiled to our warm climate down here on that end. But
yeah, he won't even go let the chickens out if it's below 50 degrees.
No, y'all stay in the pen today, at least till the sun gets up good. I'll get my dorsal light reaction going on, get out there and open the pen. But
no, his wife goes out there and opens the pen because she loves him so much.
It's pretty on the TV and all that, but
That's as far as he's going, y'all.
I couldn't live in that, y'all. But bless you for the ones of you that do.
He's sending me pictures, didn't I?
Well, I mean, there's some people that love it. They love being in that cold weather and wintertime and all that. And
I like the cool weather, not cold.
I'm not that one.
Mike's Hangaway said thick blood up north.
You got to have it up there. Yes, sir.
I don't. I wasn't born with that. At all.
Even like.
Carl said, man up, Tim.
Hey, I don't know. I think I'd have to just take the yellow stripe on my back on that one. Yeah. I'm gone, y'all. I'm headed south. I'm going to warmer waters.
Yeah.
Uh, because it's kind of funny. We done derailed, so here we are.
We're
But
gone. It's over with.
me watching YouTube the other night, I used to always wanted to go and see Australia, see the country over there, how pretty it was, and this and that. And I know most folks are going to say, Tim, 80% of that place is desert. But from what I've seen, there's some pretty green places over there.
Mm-hmm.
But I have changed my mind, I think. But the only way I could ever go see this place is in late spring or summer. But watching all them documentaries on the Alps, the Swiss Alps over there.
He's become obsessed with the Alps.
I have. That is some beautiful country that I have been looking at on the TV or what have you. But watching their wintertime, no, sir. Ain't going over there in winter.
Golly, Carl, does y'all's winter really last 7 months? That's what I couldn't handle. I could handle a couple months of it like we have down here, but
JW will help that yellow stripe.
yeah.
We were talking Mr. Donnie earlier, said we need to get JW and Mr. Mike Conley together for conversation.
That could be funny.
Oh, it would be hilarious with them two. The stuff that Mr. JW tells, then I know the stories that Mr. Mike Conley tells.
Yeah.
And it's just, I'm talking about good laughs all the way around. But while I'm on that, Mr. Donnie come by and he got us turned on to a podcast to some old boys down here in Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Hayden Alabama Podcast. But if you're kind of folks that enjoy storytelling or listening to stories,
it's like they just all sit around with coffee and microphones but it's like they're very open about their faith in God. So it's clean humor, but it is hilarious.
Oh, it is fun. I'll take it, Carl. I'll take it, brother. Yes, sir. 50 degrees.
I wasn't going to tell you.
I'll be wrapped up.
Mr. JW said I got some yellow marking paint.
There we go.
He needs it, Mr. JW.
Wait till we get one of these cold days, and I'll put a stripe down my back and let her do a video. It's cold.
Yeah.
But them old boys on that Hayden, Alabama podcast, like she said, they just have country folk that come in and tell stories on things. And Mr. Donnie, what?
He said we'll be in the 20s by Friday night and stay cold a few days.
Did he ever comment back on the observation?
I don't know.
Keith Spell, I'm gonna send you a text tomorrow. And ask you a question on something.
To the biscuit store?
Mm-mm. Which one?
What's the biscuit store? I don't know. Philip just came in. Took me a while to get caught up. Had to listen to the biscuit store. Oh, the cream honey disappearing.
Oh,
the biscuits.
Yeah, but that stuff was gone. But Mr. Donnie coming in and he's carrying on. He said, "Look," he said, "y'all listen to that show again?" And we listened to a couple of them. One of them was they had a couple Baptist preachers come in and sit down and tell different tales. But this one preacher said he had two of his boys whenever they was little, 7, 8 years old, come up to him and said, "Daddy," said, "we want to dip snuff." And he kept telling them, "Oh, no, we ain't doing all that," back and forth. And a couple of years rolls on by. They get on up a little bit more and talking about coming at him again. "We want to dip snuff." So he says, "All right, you two." He gets a can of snuff and lets one get a pinch of it, puts it in his mouth, and boy, he's gone out there sick as a dog. The other one seen it. He didn't want no part of that. He said, but He said, I got called one time to do a funeral service, and it was at our church. And he said, I had my 2 boys with me. And he said, I was sitting around talking to everybody before the service started. And he said, I kept noticing them boys of mine walking back and forth, back and forth. And he said, right before the service started, them boys of his done come up to him and told him, said, well, here, Daddy, here's all this money.
I forgot that.
Yeah. And they're like,
Yeah.
the preacher's like, well, boys, where all this money come from? And he said, well, Daddy, we're at church and we're supposed to take up a tithing, ain't we? Well, them little boys, 7, 8 years old, thought they was doing the right thing.
They done went around and took up an offering.
Yeah, took up an offering for that family and brought it back to his daddy to give to the family for an offering and all. But the one he come in and told us, if y'all want a good laugh, and the man telling the story, I don't want to intimidate, or how would I say this? I don't want to do an impression of the fella because I don't want to impersonate anything, but undoubtedly the man had a speech impediment. And the man telling the story says this a couple times, that he was born and raised with this impediment and so on and so forth. But he said they was out running trout lines across the Tom Bigby River, and he took his his son or grandson?
His son at 3 years old.
Yeah. Took his little boy out there on the river to run trout lines. And he said they was coming back across the river from running trout lines, and all of a sudden that boat died in the middle of that river. And he said we was right in a bend, and all of a sudden here comes a big old barge coming around that bend, blowing the horn at him and this and that. He said, I'm panicking. I go try to...
The boat quit. Then she failed on me.
She failed on me. And he said, I reached over and I pulled on that motor, and I ended up breaking the cord off of it. He said,
because he said when he seen the barge that the cranking efforts increased.
Yeah, they increased dramatically.
dramatically.
And well, the cord breaks on him, and he says, real quick, I had to go to thinking about doing something, so I snatched my shoelaces off and wrapped them around that thing. And
what did he call it? In a flash of brilliance.
Yeah.
I pulled my bootlace out.
And he hooked that thing up and went to pulling on it. And he said he looks down at the end of the boat down there at his 3-year-old son, and his son is born with the same speech impediment. And the boy tells him, says, Daddy, you better do something because we're going to be in heaven and on the news.
He said he spoke awful clear, trying to get them words out. We're going to be in heaven and on the news at the same time if you don't get this boat out the way.
Yeah. If y'all want some good storytelling, if y'all enjoy that kind of stuff like old Jerry Clower used to tell and different ones like that, but these are true stories of people's lives.
Small town.
Yeah, small town Alabama. Y'all go check out Hayden, Alabama podcast.
Yeah.
And if you want to hear the one about Pawpaw Moves Boat, that's episode 87. And Confessions of Baptist Preachers is episode 68. But y'all, we were literally in tears.
Oh, it was funny.
After we watched the one about, the one with the preacher's funny too, but when the fella talking about trying to get that boat out of it, that and make a grown man laugh some tears right there.
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rodney said it sounds like some Jerry Clowers.
Oh, it most definitely is.
Yeah. But it's good, clean humor. But we laughed our butts off if you like that kind of humor.
Just about everyone, because it ain't nothing but old rednecks, country folks telling stories.
It's things we can relate to. easily we can relate to.
Oh, yeah. Many others as well, but these folks is telling the story on it.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah,
Well, Buttons, you only talked an hour and a half away.
that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, by God, we talked about bees. We've derailed. We ain't talked about food yet.
Mm.
Uh,
No, Rodney, we hadn't heard from him either.
no,
I don't know if anybody's heard from him.
I don't know. I just figured the last few times that I've talked to him on the phone, he was trying to work through some things. I guess the best way to put it.
Mm.
And trying to, I guess, adjust life and tinkering around on YouTube as well. So I just assume that he may be taking a small break to get some priorities in order, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Well, and they had a lot going on with his wife's dad too.
Yep, he was pretty sick then. She didn't Miss Chris have to do some kind of heart surgery? Or am I
She
thinking
was supposed to, but they were able to do something else. But then her dad was supposed to have neck surgery.
JW says I like the one on Square Go Grouper.
Grouper.
Oh, so you watching them too then, Mr. JW?
Oh, have you watched that podcast? No, but I was thinking we could make some videos cooking Thanksgiving.
Well,
Do your sweet tater casserole.
that's what I say. Y'all want to do a sweet potato casserole because I hit the people up at the Piggly Wiggly or Hoggly Woggly, whatever you want to call it, yesterday.
Your
Was it
local
yesterday?
hometown grocery store.
Yes, that's what they
Yeah,
are.
it was yesterday.
They save us some deal if we download that app. But anyway,
Moving on, buttons.
look, I'm telling y'all, I don't know where all you can get them or you can't get them, but if you can get Chilton City, Mississippi sweet potatoes, that's the sweet potatoes you want to get. Them bad boys are some of the best sweet taters. You throw one of them dudes in the oven as big as some of them are big as a T-ball
Yeah.
glove.
Some of them, like, we had made a meal off of, like, splitting one sweet potato.
Oh, yeah.
They're huge.
Plenty to
But
eat.
yeah, Rodney, I make a topping that's like brown sugar and butter and chopped pecans and stuff, but put honey in that.
Yes.
Danae was asking in Mr. Mike Berry's chat earlier how to incorporate honey into Thanksgiving. And after I put my comment there, I was like, gosh, you sound like Forrest Gump with the honey stuff.
Well, I mean, you do a honey butter for the bread because she does cook fresh bread. She does that quite often. Well, bake, y'all know.
There's a different.
I just eat it because it's good. And her sweet potato casserole is number one in my book. That joker make your tongue slap your eyes out when she's done with that. Whenever we cook a ham, we do
a honey brown sugar glaze for the ham.
Yep. Then
put honey in make a honey pecan pie.
Yeah, you gotta do 2 of those. Then
I didn't put it in the pumpkin pie. Well, I got to where I was putting honey on the buttermilk pies.
Yep.
But yeah, the main things are the pecan pie, the honey butter for the bread, and the sweet tater casserole. We'll save you a plate, Mr. JW.
Yes, sir. We're gonna do a turkey. She's gonna do sweet potato casserole with all the fixings like she said there. Then this year she's got one of the church ladies' squash casserole recipes that I fell in love with. And she is mimicking that well.
I hadn't quite hit that number 1 spot with that one though.
She's getting close though. She's getting close. And we'll do some kind of greens, turnips.
Yeah, I know, Rodney. I saved Mr. Keith Spillman's tulip poplar honey to do with the sweet potatoes this year.
Oh yeah, those sweet potatoes are so good. If you just bake one, you wrap that puppy in aluminum foil. When you pull it out, you see the sugars that come running out of the side of that joker, still cooking, boiling right there on the side. You know you got you a good one. And thankfully, a 40-pound box isn't $40 this year. They've come down on them about $15.
Once you tell us like $27.
Yeah, $20-something they come on down to. So we'll be back. Save me a box.
Now, we do usually do a turkey for Thanksgiving. Usually the ham's for Christmas. But to me, honey's just as good on turkey.
Now, usually.
Philip's got jokes. Mr. JW ignoring him. He asked why the turkey crossed the road. It was chicken's day off.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, Ollie's going to steal that. What else do we put honey in? I feel like I put it on something else last year.
Well, you did the walnut. You roasted walnuts and walnut. You done all that. And them jokers was good too. Especially Mr. Donnie found out about them. We ended up just sending him a pile of them home. Yeah, you did several things last year. Incorporated honey in there.
I don't remember what else I did though.
We'll do it again this year.
I think I put pepper relish in the greens or pepper jelly.
Pepper relish in the greens. Yeah. What you did last year. Then, whenever we do a turkey here, I'll wrap that puppy with bacon all around. You won't be able to see none of that old bird. All you'll be able to see is bacon. And buddy,
really good that way.
Whenever she comes out the oven, like, we're fitting to eat good.
Oh, that's gonna bug me now. There was something else I put honey in last year.
Well, Mr. JW, that was part of all right. The season's kind of going back and forth. We got poke all around here. I mean,
Everywhere.
I could probably send you 6-8 pounds a year of poke that we get if I was to pick it. But a whole bunch of them done, early spring they come up, done their thing, beautiful plants. I just let them go. Well, they buried, like put off berries. I don't know, not too long ago, a month or two ago, they put off their little berries and boom, they started dying off and going away. Then, once again, coming up the hill, I think it was yesterday, looking at the bees down there, or what's left of them, and one of them old poke trees coming right on back, putting off new shoots. There's some pretty greens coming off of it. But I'm with you, throw them old turnip roots out. I ain't much on turnip roots. But I do like that pot liquor whenever it's all said and done and over with.
Because I'm making cornbread when the Thanksgiving things come to finish the turnip greens off.
That's the snack afterwards. Is either get your pot liquor in a bowl or a good old mason jar and just bust that cornbread all off in there. Let her idle for about 15 seconds and tear into it.
Oh, gumbo sounds good. We usually do gumbo for Christmas with the ham and stuff.
Yep.
Philip said he's smoking a couple turkeys, one for Thanksgiving and one for gumbo.
There you go. Yeah, ain't nothing like a fine gumbo at Thanksgiving or Christmas. That's one thing that's on the table too. Like she said, every year. And we're going to keep that tradition going for sure.
Hey, Rodney, you talking about doing the honey and sweet potatoes? Somebody told me not long ago. I don't know, maybe we already talked about doing this, but like slicing the sweet potatoes like you would to do like scallop potatoes or something, but just throwing them in a skillet and fry them in butter and cinnamon and brown sugar or whatever until they're tender and take them out.
Who was telling us that? Was it Miss Faye?
Was it her or Miss Vera?
It was one of them too.
I don't know,
to say
but
Miss
it did. It sounded really good. I was like, I could go for that for breakfast one day, or do it as a dessert. But literally, she said they just like sliced them kind of thin, like chips or something. But just fry them in the skillet like that. I was like, I'm gonna try that.
Oh man, you did like a salty honey, just a pinch of salt, nothing crazy, just enough to give you that.
Like I do on the carrots.
Yeah, like that. You talk about that'd be pretty doggone good with that honey.
Oh, there's another honey dish. Do the honey butter carrots.
Yeah.
Carrots is always a good vegetable.
Yeah, well, she done that not about a year or so ago. She handed me a plate and told me to try this. And I was like, well, what'd you do to them? I like eating baby carrots, fresh carrots, kind of thing. But she'll boil them down, what have you. And I got to snacking on them jokers. I said, whatever you did, I said, don't change it. Keep doing it from here on out. And she said, well, I just put a little honey in.
Just honey butter and salt.
Yep.
When they're still hot, let it all melt together.
Good stuff.
Cook the turnip roots about a week. Add some honey and pound it yourself.
Okay.
Huh. That's a new one on me, Mr. J-Dub. But I like turnip roots. Tom and Melissa do honey butter carrots.
Okay. They know. Y'all know what we're talking about.
The best way to eat carrots is with butter and honey.
Thinking on that. Hang on one second, y'all. All right. Sorry about that. I just didn't want to. I wanted to
tell a fib.
Yeah, I'll just make sure my numbers were right. We finally got the YouTube money for the recovery efforts up there in North Carolina. And by the time the dust settled from YouTube taking their pinch that night, it was $640
or something.
I can look on my phone.
Total everything, it was $940.
Yeah, between Philip Blaine and Mr. Russell Amon on their checks. So probably after Ricky gets done with his surgery, he'd been busy with that. We're gonna go ahead and Hannah's got that money switched over to where we can go get a money order and get that 900 and I forget again at $60-something or around that to be on the exact. But I'll be happy to post a little screenshot of what it shows us as far as a balance on YouTube. That way everybody knows where their money went to and knows that it's going where it's supposed to be going.
He's got a plan to kind of show everybody where it's going.
Okay.
Yeah. I know.
30%.
I think it was more than that.
When I read the terms and conditions,
it was like 35% they took out of that.
Yeah, it was on up there. Because whenever, like I say, the dust settled, we seen anybody that knows if you look on your monetization or where people do your memberships and stickers and all that, each live it you can go in and it tells you the exact dollar amount that people donated or got memberships, that kind of stuff for that evening. And when we finally got the final numbers on it, I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, because it was like $633 and some change is what they ended up turning loose of.
So add 30% to that, and that's what the full amount
Yeah,
should have
I
been.
was shocked at
But
how much they took out of that. I
YouTube,
mean, I knew they took a percentage, but I didn't realize they were going to take that much.
no. Well, even like on anything we do, say if somebody gives us a sticker or on memberships, they get, if you buy one of the $2.99 memberships, all right, we get 70% of that, and YouTube gets 30% of that. I
They
know
all do
on the.
YouTube too. They know.
Well, I'm just saying, for if there's anybody trying to understand that may not in the background that ain't comment or don't know or anything like that, that's how YouTube makes all their big bucks, undoubtedly. I remember talking to Bob and somebody else right after he had got monetized, and he was saying that they took a large chunk out. Then whenever we finally got monetized, and I was looking at the privacy terms and conditions and this and that before you turn anything on, I was like, "Are you serious?" I could see.
Mr. JW is put out with YouTube charges.
Oh yeah,
He said they're a bunch of
yeah, it's on up there. I don't know. We're trying to figure out a better way to where if we do another fundraiser or something like that, to where, okay, we can go to this organization and they only take out 3%. And that way more of the money goes to where it's supposed to go. But I ain't really dug around to find what companies do that. I see a lot of people using that Patreon, and from what I understand from it,
not as bad.
Yeah, it's nowhere near as bad far as that company taking proceeds. But they ought to have, at least say, allow people that do live chats or streams or something like that to, okay, this one is for
Some
a
said they
donation.
like Venmo.
Venmo? Okay. I'll do some reading on some of them different ones.
Yeah, well, we had talked about doing that, but then we were like, YouTube took so much already. I don't want to pay somebody else to take another cut. That's why we're just going to overnight them a check.
Yeah.
For everything.
Yeah, because what we did without getting into too much business, we had just bought one of those refillable debit cards. So whatever proceeds come from YouTube goes on to that. But if we spend money on that, they charge $2 every time you swipe the card, or X amount of dollars to switch money over. And it was like, well, y'all just sticking it to folks anywhere you can.
Yeah. So what if you send it as friends and family on PayPal? It doesn't charge you? Because I did not know that. But that's not surprising because I don't know anything about PayPal anyway.
I mean, that'd be okay. I get companies need to make a little bit of money. You're doing something like that, but just outright, I'm gonna get you for as much as I can. And you're just kind of stuck with their terms and conditions, using it through that. Unless you got some kind of, if you like
Oh, are you gonna do that again, Philip? He said, he's gonna raffle a honey gift basket for Hives for Heroes in December.
Okay.
Because you did really good with that little fundraiser last year. I was hoping you were gonna do it again this year.
I'm glad you brought that up. Go ahead.
Tom was saying that's right. If you send it as a business transaction, they charge a small percent. But PayPal, if you send it as friends and family, they don't charge you.
What's that? JW said.
Even Mr. JW can use PayPal.
Well, I mean, I'm cool with 3%. You know, something like that. Yeah, okay, I get that.
That's a lot better than 30%.
Yeah. On that end, it's kind of like you dealing, which I ain't never had no credit card, thank goodness. But, you know, that's like credit card interest rates right there, 25, 30% on
Crazy.
that kind of mess. But I'm glad you said that, or the ones of you in conversation.
Todd said that story worked him. I fell asleep on the couch for 20 minutes.
Yeah, see there?
Mission accomplished.
Mm-hmm. Hope you got your belly full too. Whatever you cook tonight, enchiladas or.
I wanted enchiladas the other night when I cooked something, but he didn't. So we had meatloaf and mashed potatoes and honey butter carrots instead.
Mm-hmm. It'll good too. Fine, bro. But it's something we're going to try to remember to do. We're getting into everybody's wanting to buy Christmas presents and all this, getting into Christmas time. So if you have merchandise.
That sounds good, Todd.
Yeah. Any merchandise that you sell for your YouTube channel, anything like that, stick the link in the chat. That way, if people wants to buy a hat or hive tool or t-shirt from you or, you know, anything.
Because, y'all, there's a ton of people in our little group now. Like Philip, Brian and Jen, Lee.
Dirt Rooster, Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah. Especially Miss Elizabeth's got a new jewelry line coming out. Todd's got a store now. Who else? You said Philip. There's Carl and them. Don't they have a store you can order from?
Tom and Melissa?
Bob, Lee, Philip, Brian and Jen.
Trying not to drown, you know, something going on out there. But yeah, if you got a store, put your link in there so folks want to buy something from you. Running dogs. They running in dogs. But yes, like Tom and them's hat. Man, let's see if I can get the camera here. That's there. Then y'all see us with old Kodiak Farms and Bees there with Lee. Where's the little fluffy hat?
Oh, the Dirt Rooster?
Yeah. For you ladies. And we got one for the 1,000 giveaway. So once again, if y'all stuck it out with us this long, we're gonna tell you about it. We getting back on track trying to. It ain't gonna be long, Lord willing, we'll be able to do the 1,000 giveaway. And got with Dirt Rooster on some things, and he said, look, for them women, and I guess it's something Miss Elizabeth has got in the store doing, but
yeah, he's pretty good at that, Todd.
let's see,
Hey, that thing's warm too. I love it. I've been wearing it for a few days now.
Little toboggan with the fluffy little poop ball on there for, I'm gonna say, cute. You women folk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's your problem?
But yeah, we got one of those for the giveaway coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Got with Guardian Bee apparel on some gloves. Terry's been kind enough to do a little, let's see, tax deductible donation on that end.
Way to come to his defense, Tom.
And who else? Got some others we're looking into. So,
They're giving you a hard time because I went to check on the Bigfoot.
oh,
Todd said I like how Hannah got up and Tim just sat back in the chair.
she can handle it, boy. She can handle it.
That's what Tom said. He would have popped up if there was a real emergency.
Well, I mean, no,
It's
yeah.
below 55 out there, y'all. I'm on my own.
Well, I got my lead dispenser literally right here in hand's reach. So, and whenever she gets to that front door, all she's got to do is reach up and she can get her hands on one. So, Lord willing, it ain't ever got to come to that. But yeah, no, you turn them dogs loose first. Look at old Jasper on guard up there talking about mess around here.
Yeah.
You
Let me go hide behind my mama real quick.
Mhm. Look at
Yeah.
that joker.
He was trying, wasn't he? Oh, I got a mean bark.
Oh, he sounds tough now.
Oh, man. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Hannah's in his chair. I know, he about shoved me out of this thing earlier. Oh, good grief, bro.
You're plumb about flip her out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, that's about all I got for this evening, yeah.
Well, we come on early. So technically, got 6 more minutes.
6 more minutes. Where y'all want to go?
We don't have to drag it out. Oh, don't he though, Mr. JW? Said he sure looks vicious to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I try, look, Mr. JW, you probably are the ones of you that's ever hunted kind of thing, especially if you run a dog here and there. I let both of them out the other night. Now, that bulldog mix down there, Jasper's,
Still.
yeah, friend. Now, she's the one that you got to watch. I have to watch her around strangers and stuff because she has lunged.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever she lunged at a teenage boy, I told her, I said, you just going to have to idle down a little bit from that. But when it comes to critters now, she's going to go get them as well. But I let them two out the other night and I had my Q-beam and I was shining out through the yard. And I hit on some eyes up in a tree about, I don't know, 16, 18 feet off the ground. And them dogs, they was headed off another direction. I was thinking to myself, well, I'm going to put them dogs on this possum and see if they'll treat it good.
Mm-hmm.
The bulldog, she run down there and she picked the smell up and she just kind of meandered around that tree. Jasper comes flying down through there at 40 miles an hour, busts through the whole situation, has no idea what's going on, and just keeps on running straight through the woods. Well, I'm trying to call him back to get him on this possum a few feet off the ground. He never picked up on it. It just, he had no idea what in the world I was trying to get him to do. And this bulldog, she kind of picked up on it. Then she lost interest, I guess, because it was up in the tree. But he sure didn't want to do what they say he's bred for, unless run a deer.
Defective.
Yeah, he's defective on that end.
He's not.
But
He didn't have enough coffee either.
mm-mm.
He's asleep already. Mostly asleep.
But he did good. He didn't tear nothing up.
Yeah, he did. He ate my honeybee pillows.
Oh yeah, he did. He sure did. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Shredded them. We come in and it looked like one of y'all snows up there in the North Country.
No, you came in. Remember, I stayed at Grandma's that night. You had come home to get us clothes.
That's right.
And let them out. And he shredded both of my new honeybee throw pillows Tim had just bought me a few months ago.
Told him, I said, she's going to be mad with you.
I
Bubba.
was too. I was furious because he bought me those two to replace the last two Jasper shredded that go in that chair.
But
or went in that chair. But that was the only mishap he had in 2 weeks.
Yeah. He
I'm
did good.
proud of him.
'Cause we was, yeah, we wasn't home pretty much for 2 weeks. Hannah definitely wouldn't. And I was expecting things to show enough be crazy, but thank goodness he did good.
He grew up. Oh, I got a short I took yesterday, Mr. JW, talking about armadillo holes. But we found, or my daddy found a fox den in the little hill back behind the house. And them two idiots, when he finally felt in the hole and realized it was there, then he started acting like he knew what he was doing with it. But poor old Stella was fixing to take off down in there.
Y'all, she was vertical. I'm talking about that head in the ground
sticking out.
and like a portion of her shoulders, because her shoulders are so broad she couldn't go down in that little slender hole for that fox. But she would, I mean, legs were straight up in there. We couldn't see her head anymore.
No, and her tail just goes 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You dork.
There wasn't no fox in there. They didn't jump on one, but she was sure trying to get down in there into that den.
Yeah. Well, I think we're losing them buttons.
Oh,
Let's just go to bed.
I've been watching them go from 33 to 28, 27, and jump back up. So on and so forth. But
I'm out of coffee.
Yeah.
So is Jasper.
I'm just about out of conversation.
It was good to be back tonight.
It was. Ain't gonna lie. I missed it.
Oh, he was straight having withdrawals from not being on live.
I can't talk to my friends.
Worse than Jasper.
But I knew I wasn't gonna push no issues, most definitely. I mean, wasn't fixing
I
it.
didn't mean it like that,
Yeah.
baby. I'm just picking on
I mean, I know. But we just took that time. We appreciate everybody once again.
Yeah.
And the support.
And people still coming back with us.
Yeah. Hanging out. Most of you hanging out the whole hour. Where we at? 157 now? 158. And once again, thank the people in the background.
Yeah.
Ones
people
of you,
we didn't know were there.
Yeah. Ones of you that don't chat or get in the chats. Y'all just sit back and watch. We'll shout out to y'all as well.
Y'all too.
Yep.
For sure.
Very, very much.
Well, guys, we are going to try our best. I don't know. We might have to do videos like just focusing on the food dishes. But no, I really do. I'm really hoping to do a couple cooking videos because I think all day Tuesday I'm going to be cooking most of it. Let's see, we're going to do homemade macaroni, the sweet potatoes, the squash, and something else. Pecan pie, honey pecan pies. But we'll see how many videos I can get in. That can be our like slow release once a week through the winter. But it was awesome to see everybody again, chat with everybody tonight. And I hope y'all have a wonderful, blessed Thanksgiving. Hopefully everybody can be with their families and focus on what we should focus on this holiday. Because I know we sure have a lot to be thankful for.
Amen to that. Absolutely. Been blessed. It's a blessing having y'all with us, and that's true.
Absolutely.
Never imagined we would get the friendships and stuff that has come along with this.
This hit me earlier. Tom and Melissa, are y'all going to do y'all's live with Ricky Thursday?
Oh, that is Turkey Day, ain't it? Thursday.
Yeah, it snuck up on us. It's big time.
Well, I don't know. Then we got the Iron Bowl to look forward to. And the way Alabama's going this year, it looks like Auburn.
We got a chance, y'all.
It's going to be, if Auburn wins, it's going to be worse than Phillip receiving his crown when we finally get that thing to him.
Yeah.
Oh, good grief.
Oh yeah. I'll
Definitely
be wearing orange and blue next week
the house divided.
if we win. With a smile on my face.
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, it's not often Auburn can say we won the Iron Bowl. It's like once every decade we win an Iron Bowl.
Well, they got a
Give
shot
us a
this year.
break.
Got a
Yeah,
shot
we
this year.
do. Absolutely, we do.
I used to know some of my Auburn jokes, but I might get in trouble
You
telling some
forgot
of them.
them, huh? All right.
You ready?
I reckon.
All right, y'all. God bless you.
Yeah.
Lord willing, we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah. Y'all have a good week.
Well, guess that's it for today. See you next time at Gunline Bees. Well, guess that's it